You may remember it was 2015. I underwent an open heart surgery for an aortic graft and a valve replacement. And thanks to the doctors and the nurses and everyone involved, the outcome could not have been any better. Oh, and by the way, here is something else that helped me through recovery. This red heart-shaped pillow came in extremely handy during recovery. Hopefully you don't know why you need one, but if you do, you do, and we'll talk about that a little bit more.
And it's a nice pillow. Now, you, Jimmy, have the group Mended Hearts to thank for that, but it's about so much more than a pillow. Ron and Heather Michaud are with the Delmarva chapter of Mended Hearts. We're going to get into the pillow and the program in just a bit, but first, Ron, you've been there. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, it's been a long journey. I come from a family that's predisposed to heart disease. And so I had my first heart attack when I was 37, and I had open heart surgery at the time. And then 10 years later, I had another heart attack and then another open heart surgery. And when I was 60, which was 16 years ago, I had to have a heart transplant because by that time my heart just couldn't keep my body going.
Yeah. Well, please accept our compliments about how great you look with everything that you've been through. 37, your first heart attack.
Yeah.
Did you have any ideas?
I found out when I was 32 that I had high cholesterol levels, and that's the genetic defect that I have. My body produces more cholesterol than what I need, and so it deposits in the arteries, and then the arteries get clogged, and then you have a heart attack.
So you were kind of eyes open about the possibility.
Right.
Whew, goodness gracious.
So what's the recovery from something like that like?
The first couple of weeks, you're, kind of woozy and you don't feel too good. But I found that after a couple of weeks, you kind of start feeling a little better. And after about 6 weeks, I was feeling pretty darn good. In fact, 6 months after my first open heart surgery, I ran in a 10K. So you can recover from these things and you can lead a very good, productive life.
Wow, that is huge.
Yeah.
Okay, but Heather, I got to ask you. This was a lot that Ron went through.
Yes.
You went through it too.
Yes.
How was that on you?
Well, it's certainly a stressful experience over the years, but on the positive side, I've learned a lot, and I've learned how to help him stay as well as possible, keep all the pills sorted and the appointments straight. So.
And that was different than it was before, huh?
Oh yeah, and I had to kind of relearn to cook to make sure that our diet was going to be heart healthy.
Yeah.
And over the years, I've gotten pretty good at changing the recipes.
Yeah, and kind of along with that, what other life changes have you, Ron, had to make, and then you as well?
Well, we both exercise a lot more than we used to. We go to the gym together, and that works well because you've got somebody to go with, and you kind of make sure that you go when you do have somebody to go with. We've really not had to cut down on too much else. We've traveled a lot. We've even gone on cruises, and so as I said, you can lead a very productive life with heart disease. But the thing you have to remember is you always have heart disease. It doesn't go away. And so you have to keep up a regimen for the rest of your life.
That doesn't mean you can't live life.
That's right.
That's right.
So one change that you made was making it a priority to you to help other heart patients.
Absolutely.
That you saw.
Yes. We feel that we got so many good things that happened to us. Our friends were always supportive. We had good doctors, and so we felt that we had to pay back some. And so we joined a group called Mended Hearts here in Salisbury, and we volunteer at Peninsula Regional Medical Center visiting heart patients there.
You know what? I'm going to ask you to hang on that for just a second, because this is so wonderful what you do and important what you do that we want to take a little time with it and find out more. So if you can hang on for just a second, don't you go anywhere either. Delmarva Life will be right back. We heard the why behind Ron and Heather Michaud's mission to support heart patients at Peninsula Regional Medical Center. And Ron and Heather have stayed with us this afternoon to tell us a little bit more about the Mended Hearts program. You guys really enjoy it. Tell us what Mended Hearts does.
Okay. Well, we're a national nonprofit organization that supports heart patients. And we have local chapters in about 450 cities in the United States.
Wow.
And so we work with Peninsula Regional Medical Center, and our main thrust is to visit patients in the hospital, either prior to or after they've had some kind of procedure or surgery, heart surgery. And we try to talk them through the process and what the recovery is going to be like, and then talking about healthy lifestyles. So we visit about 700 patients a year here at the hospital.
And Ron, we just kind of told your story about how you've been there. You know, how does you having that journey be able to help you connect with the patients who are maybe just starting and maybe a little scared, a little worried?
Right, and they are. That's we see that a lot. We talk, by having gone through it myself, I know what they're feeling. Mm-hmm. I know what they're going to go through, and so we talk about that, and I try to allay their fears. Mm-hmm. And also provide some education while we're about it in terms of leading heart-healthy lifestyles.
So you can deal with the patient.
Yes.
And you do a wonderful job of that. Heather, do you help out with the loved ones for what they can expect with their heart patient?
Yes, you know, I try to help both the patient and any family members that are there. I can certainly understand the fear that they have, and they're probably afraid to take their loved ones home.
Yeah.
And I can certainly understand that. And so I share some tips, depending on how the conversation goes, about things they can do to make it easier to take care of their loved one and not be as stressed themselves about the fear of the unknown. Most of the patients and families think that they're going to be much more restricted for a lot longer period, and we try to encourage them that while every patient's different, your recovery is probably going to be quicker than you think, and a big key to that is following the instructions of their doctors and nurses.
Yeah.
You know, the job is now being turned over to them, and if they do what they need to do, they can recover well.
Turn out great.
And Jimmy, let's see that pillow again.
Oh, yeah.
Can we hear more about this?
This was something that I got while I was at PRMC after my heart surgery. Ron, explain why this was so important to me.
Well, when you've had open heart surgery, one of the things that you don't want to have happen is for fluid to build up in your lungs. Mm-hmm. So you aspirate with an aspirator. You've had one of those,
right?
And that makes you cough up any fluid that's built up into your lungs. Well, since your chest has been split open, it kind of hurts when you cough. So you hold this pillow as tight as you can then when you cough, and that helps ease the pain some.
That's so thoughtful.
Yeah. So I got a quick question. Are you looking for any more members? Are you looking for help?
We're always looking for new members, young or old, to help us because we have a lot of patients at Peninsula Regional that have heart issues, and we'd like to reach every one of them, but right now our chapter isn't big enough to reach every one of them.
You can only be in so
we'd
many
like
places.
to do that, so we can do that with more members.
Ron, Heather Michaud, thank you so much for what you do and the impact that you have on people that need you desperately.
Thank you for sharing more of your story with us, too.
Yeah, wonderful to talk to you.